Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. First things first, the elephant in the room. It's just a temporary wash. Quarantine gets the best of all of us, right? They'll wash out in a few days. I just got really tired of seeing that line of blonde up against the line of dark for my roots. But yeah, hi guys. So today we are talking about Milk Cosmetics' new 420 collection. This is the Stash Box. The collection originally launched on 420, of course, and very promptly sold out. Like, very promptly sold out. I know there was a little bit of a uproar about how quickly it sold out. I guess I should consider myself lucky that I was able to get my hands on one of these Stash Boxes. And I did purchase this with my own money. It is not PR. It was not sent to me, and this video is not sponsored in any way. When I looked earlier in the week, there wasn't even anything on the website about the collection once it sold out. It was like gone. But there are things on the website now. And they do have the picture of the Stash Box back up there, and it does say coming soon. I think I read somewhere on Milk Cosmetics' Instagram page that they were going to be offering more Stash Boxes. I don't know that there has been a date for that. I will check on that. But the collection consists of the 420 palette, two of their ultra matte gel liners, and one's the color Spliff, and one is the color Wallflower. So this is what the Stash Box looks like. It's actually a very pretty box. It's gold, has 420 and Milk Cosmetics on it. It is covered in embossed cannabis leaves all the way around. Just not on the bottom. The bottom is smooth. So it opens like this. On the inside, on the lid, there is a picture, actually a really cool picture, of Dana Bomar and Laura Arellano. I really hope that's how you say your name, I'm sorry. Anyway, there's of course a little sticker, a little heart. It says Milk Cosmetics, has cannabis leaves. Little card about the 420 collection. And then we had the 420 palette, the Ultra Matte Gel Liner in Spliff, Wallflower, and then this was kind of fun. There are 3 options for a tobacco pipe device. There was this green, called it Jade Milkglass. There was a clear amber and a clear golden yellow were your choices for this. And I chose the Jade Milkglass because I really love green. Anyway, fun little addition to the Stash Box. One other fun component of the Stash Box was, so the bottom slides out. There's a little drawer for your stash. You know, your lipsticks and your eyeliners and your makeup brushes and any other stash you might need to keep stashed. I don't live on the West Coast. I don't live in one of those legal states. So this is what the box for the palette looks like. Same gold with green writing and just like a starburst effect on it. Hope that's coming across. And then the actual palette is pretty cool. It has that like holographic kind of, I don't even know what you call this stuff, the like hard plastic holographic kind of sticker situation on it. And hopefully you can see where it's shifting. It's on the front and the back. I thought that was pretty cool. So the inspiration for this palette was shatter, hence the shattered pieces of amber on the palette. I actually had to Google what shatter is. So the palette looks like this. It's a very beautiful palette of yellows, browns, grays, a little bit of orange, a light, almost khaki shade. It's a really pretty color story. It's kind of an odd color story for spring, but I'm not mad at it. It's very like a grungy green, yellow, brown color story, and I'm kind of here for it, if I'm being honest. The description for the palette on the website says, a striking array of potent yellows, amber neutrals, and a hit of green, inspired by the vivid hues and tones found in Shatter, the most concentrated and powerful version of cannabis. This is 420 in its purest form. I'm going to read you the description of these shades as I show you the swatches, and they are definitely having some fun with this palette. Shotgun, take a hit of this killer lime shadow. Wear this matte shadow in your inner corner for a neon highlight. Light. Get it? Faded, a warm olive matte. Chronic, a deep olive matte. Roll It, a tobacco leaf brown matte. Dank, a deep khaki matte. Blunt, a russet brown matte. Shatter, a glistening amber with soft honey sparkle. Wax, a butter yellow matte. Full Melt, a dark amber matte. And Hash, a warm taupe matte. This is the shadows in Natural Light. Now this is the shadows in Sunlight. This is the Ultra Matte Gel Liner in Natural Light. Spliff is described as a true brown. Wallflower is described as an olive. This is the Ultra Matte Gel Liners in Sunlight. So the stash box, including the palette, the 2 Ultra Matte Gel Liners, and the glass smoking device, retails for $100. The palette is 16.56 grams and retails for $58. Each of the Ultra Matte Gel Eyeliners will retail for $19, and then you can buy the Melt Pipe also for $15. So I know a lot of you have a love-hate relationship with Melt and their actual palettes. I think universally the stacks are fairly well loved, but the palettes are kind of hit and miss for people. I know a lot of people just don't like them at all. I happen to really enjoy them. I thought the Rust palette, when I tried it, was probably the best Melt palette I had tried. But you know what? I'm thinking that this might actually be the best Melt palette that I have tried. I was really happy with the performance of this palette. It's an all matte palette except for the one shade Shatter. But everything else is a matte, and they all blended out really beautifully, I thought. They had good color payoff. They blended out smoothly and beautifully. So the shade Shatter, that is very hard to say. The shade Shatter, the formula of it reminded me of the formula from the shade Serape from the Vita palette. They performed very similar. They had the same kind of texture. It's like a dense packed, not really a glitter, but like a dense packed sparkle. I don't know, that there's not a description for the palette of how they describe the formula for that shade. So I don't know what they call that formula that they've used in other palettes, but that Shatter is that formula. So I did find with that particular shade, it did take some packing on to get it to really adhere to the eye, just like that Serape shade from the Vita palette. But that was the only little hiccup, and I wouldn't even call it a hiccup. It was just the only shade that wasn't effortless. I had not tried any of Melt Cosmetics Ultra Matte Liners until the Rust palette launch, and I really like that formula. You know, most gel liners in a pot like that are a little bit dense, but this Melt formula, if you saw my video for the Rust palette, I actually described it as almost pudding-like. It is so soft. With it being real soft like that, you have to be very careful about how much you pick up, but then it just smooths out and blends flawlessly. I really like their gel liner formula. I think it's a really, really nice formula. All in all, I really like this palette. I got very little fallout in doing it. I thought the shades blended beautifully. The palette performs great. I think this 420 palette is really a win for Melt. Like I said, the color story is kind of an odd choice for springtime. But if you like those grungy, yellow, green, brown kind of colors, I think you'll really like this palette. And of course, there are some colors in here that are similar to the colors in the Rust palette, but they're not the same. They're very different. It's a very different palette altogether. I don't think I have a palette that's quite this cohesive of a grungy color story. I'm really happy that I got this, and if you don't have a palette similar to this with these same kind of color stories, I think you would be very happy with this. If you've been disappointed with Melt Cosmetics palettes in the past, I would suggest giving this one a try. Like I said, I really think they have a home run with this palette. I was very happy with it. Now, it may turn out, as these reviews start rolling in, that I'm in the minority and that people, you know, whatever. My unbiased, unfiltered, have not seen a review opinion of this is that I really like it, and I thought it performed really well, and I was very happy with the look that I got from this palette today. You know, Melt's a really fun cosmetics company. I love that Melt's, I feel like they're a company owned by two strong, powerful women, and I'm here for it. I will support them over and over because of that. And I know that like a 420 theme is not for everyone. You have to take a little tongue-in-cheek, I think. Okay guys, so that's my thoughts on the palette. If you want to see how the shadows performed, if you want to see how I got this eye look, then please keep watching. And please consider subscribing if you don't already subscribe. For those of you that do subscribe, thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you've tried this palette, if you like it. If you have opinions on Melt Cosmetics palettes in general, let me know what you think about this eye look. All right, so if you want to see how I got this eye look and how the shadows perform, just please keep watching. Okay guys, as always, I have some Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer on my lids and just the lightest dusting of Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder and pound cake under my eyes just to catch any potential fallout. I recently got the 21-piece roll set of gold brushes from Royal & Langnickel, and I'm going to use those today. So I'm going to start out with the number 44 brush. It's a large crease brush. I'm going to pick up that shade Hash and just work it into the crease. I'm going to move to their 45 brush. It's just a standard crease brush. Picking up that shade Blunt. Just going to start by patting it on this outside corner and then blending it up into the crease. I'm going to pick up their 43 brush. It's a blending brush. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that shade Dank and use it just to blend this edge. I'm also going to pick up the tiniest bit and just blend right here on this edge. I'm going to use their 47 brush, which is a small crease brush. I'm going to pick up the shade Roll It and just start darkening up this outer corner. So I really like how that brush laid that color in my crease. However, I do want this very outside corner to be just a little darker. So I'm going to go in with their 48 brush, and they call this a smudger. Picking up the same shade. I'm going to go in with their number 42 brush. It's a small shader. I'm going to pick up the shade Full Melt. I'm just going to start patting it right here, just on the outside of the center of my lid. Start bringing some warmth into this lid shade. I'm going to take the same brush in the shade Faded and just blend that right over the edge of Full Melt. Same brush, and I'm moving into that shade Shotgun. And same thing, just right on the edge, overlapping those colors. Just trying to create a gradient from brown to yellow. Okay, I am going to change brushes now. Switch to their number 50 brush. This is actually a lip brush, but it's a small, dense brush, and for what I need, it's perfect. I'm going to pick up that shade Wax and finish off that blend in this inside corner. So now that I have that shade placed, I'm going to go back in with that number 43 brush clean and just kind of softly blend this wax up the side of my nose right here, that nasal fold, and off into the crease. I'm just barely touching my skin with this brush. Okay, I wiped off that number 50 brush, and I'm going to use it to pick up that shade Shatter. Just going to start packing the shade right here in the center corner. Okay, that shade is packed in there. I'm gonna get this bake off of from underneath my eyes, and we'll start on the lower lash line. I did get a little bit of fallout. I'm not even sure what shade that was from, but it's very minimal. I'm gonna take a Wallflower number 5 brush. I know she looks dirty, but she's not. It's just a pointer brush. I'm gonna pick up that shade Chronic, and I'm gonna stay pretty close to my lash line. I'm going to take the Refer 03 brush, which is another pencil brush, but it's pointier, smaller than the Wallflower. I'm going to take that shade Roll It and just stay right on this outer corner. Going about 1/3 of the way in. Okay, I'm going to go back to my Royal Nickel number 47 brush, pick up that shade Faded, and use it to go right at the edge of that shade Chronic, just to soften it up and blend that out a little bit. Sonia G's Soft Shader, that shade Shotgun. Back with that number 50 brush and that shade Shatter. Okay, I think that's just about it for the eyeshadow. Now to move on to the Ultra Matte Gel Liner. I'm going to start out using my BK Beauty 208 brush. It is the tiniest. It's actually an eyebrow brush, but I don't work with gel liners very often, so we're going to start really small. I'm going to go in with the shade Spliff. I have picked up just the tiniest bit of this gel liner. I'm actually going to start, I don't know if you can tell with this shadow where my lid comes together. I'm actually going to start just on the outside of that, just because when I do this is like, because of the age on my eyelids, if I start more on the corner where my lids come together, that line just kind of disappears in the fold of my eyelid. So I'm going to actually start a little lower than where my natural lid comes together. Yes, I did make a very fine line because I want to be able to look at it and tell if it's heading the direction I want it to. Okay, a little bit more of that liner. I'm just going to reinforce that line I already started. You can see with the age on my lids, holding and out drawing the line, it looks like that's a fairly significant length, but when I let it go, there's very little liner there. Still working with very little liner on this brush. I'm fairly happy with the length that is. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the liner and join it to my upper lid. So now that I have the outer V of my liner on, I'm going to switch to Linda Hallberg 300 brush, which is just an angled liner brush to do a thin line all the way across my lid. I'm switching just because with my lashes, it's just easier for me to deal with the angled brush. Okay, so that pretty much finishes up the upper liner on that eye. Now, let's just hope I can get the other eye to at least look like they're related. Okay, so I think somehow miraculously I managed to keep these wing liners at the same family reunion. Like, they might not be twins, they might not even be sisters, but I think they're at the same family reunion. So I do want to incorporate that ultra matte gel liner and Wallflower into this look somehow, just because I think it's such a nice, unique green color. So I think what I'm going to do is take it and lay it on my waterline on my lower lid. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but that's what we're going to do. But before I do that, like I said, I started this liner on both sides below where you would naturally start your liner. So to make sure that blends well, I'm going to take that Rephr 03 brush again and just take a little bit of that shade, roll it, and just make sure that this kind of all blends together. Okay, so I've never actually tried to put one of Melt's Ultra gel liners, ultra matte gel liners in my waterline. So I'm not sure exactly how I want to go about doing it. I'm going to try using my Wayne Goss 08 brush. It's just a traditional flat liner brush, and picking it up and just patting it down on there and seeing how it turns out. So I'm kind of just going to hold this for a second just to give that a chance to dry down. I don't want it to run all over the place. I think that pretty much finishes up this eye look. I'm going to go off camera and put on some mascara and finish up my face and be back to show you this final look. All right, so I finished off the look with some Milk Boss liner in my upper waterline, Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Bang mascara, and I'll have all the details about what's on my face down below. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you were able to see how well this palette performed. You guys stay safe out there, take care of one another. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Consider subscribing. It would be my honor to have you, and until next time guys, mwah. Alright guys, so I think I've had enough 420. Are y'all still here? Go enjoy your own 420.